So, the first thing that we're going to do is slide her towards me in the bed. Generally, what I'm going to do as far as my AP stance goes, if I'm going to move her towards me in the bed, is my front leg is going to be like the outside, like my right leg. If I have my left leg in front, I want my left leg in front because I want to open up without creating too much rotation in my back. So my hips are going to be more open to the direction that I'm going. Whereas if I'm here, I'm going to end up having a lot more spine rotation. So there's two ways to do it. I believe, do you like going two hands under? So this is where I don't like doing the two hands under. I feel like it's more challenging for me to get low, get both of my hands under. I like to go one hand on each scapula. So we're going to break her up into 3 segments basically. If you have a bigger patient and you're a smaller therapist, you might need to do 4 segments. That's okay. We're going to bring her legs together first to start. And patient, we're going to move you over to the left in the bed, okay? Since she's not able to do anything herself, I'm going to just cross her hands over here. We will say you have head control. If she didn't have head control, I would probably have to change the way I'm doing things to support her head a little bit. I want to be this way, sorry. Right leg is going to be up top because I'm starting more open here and then I'm turning to a neutral position. If I'm here, I have to rotate more that way. I should have stuck with my gut instinct. So I'm going to bring both hands over onto her scapula. Definitely never pulling through the humerus. A lot of the patients, especially if she's a fully debilitated patient, she would be like maybe more at risk of subluxing her shoulder. So I wouldn't want to pull through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move your shoulders, your hips, and then your legs over towards me, okay? So again, I'm in that AP stance. And then I'm getting nice and close. Sometimes people will be here, and then you're pulling with your arms. It should be all your legs. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the legs. 1, 2, 3. And like I said, if she were a little bit larger, then I may have to do like, shoulders, lower, like upper, like lower back, then the hips, then the legs. So you can break that up however you need to, depending on the situation.
Is putting them back the same way? You start forward.
Yeah, generally I'll do the head and neck first. Let's go ahead and go back into the middle. If she was totally dependent and didn't have neck control, then what I would likely be doing would be cradling her head here with my hand. My forearm is going to be under her scapula, and then 1, 2, 3 here. Makes sense? And then usually I'm not going to move my patient away, but for simplicity's sake, I'm going to do that there. If we're going to go into side lying, it's a little bit easier because now my AP stance is way easier to just shift this way. This is going to be called the reverse T position. So this will allow her to come up into side lying with some support on her arm. And then you can either cross over one leg or you can bend the knees depending on what type of side lying position you want to end up in. This would be like your log rolling technique. So patients who are on spinal precautions, no twisting, no bending, and usually no lifting. So again, this is what I worked on with a patient earlier this week. She was doing a lot of rotation, her back was hurting, and that's gonna slow the healing process. So I'm going to, again, reach over. I kind of like to come over upper trap and get my hand on like the spine of the scapula and then hands on the hip here. And then 1, 2, 3, I'm just shifting my weight back. I'm not doing a big pull with my arms. And now she's in a nice safe side lying position. This would be ideal if I was going to try and get her into sitting. If I was just going to leave her in side lying, obviously I wouldn't want the knees here because I would want to be able to put rails up. Again, that might be, I don't think I would ever leave a patient side lying without rails up. I don't know if that's any different, like I said, with these rule changes coming up, so our practicals will definitely leave them there. Do we want to keep going through more, or do you guys want to start to practice just moving side to side and side lying? Practice? Okay.